Have you ever wondered why most Americans work exactly 40 hours a week? Not 32, not 50, but 40? It's a number so familiar that we almost forget to question it. But behind this schedule lies a hidden history of brutal working conditions, powerful labor movements, suspicious industrial motives, and a surprising mix of political pressure and corporate strategy. This is the story of how a simple number, 40, became embedded in American culture, shaping our daily lives for over a century. And the truth behind it might challenge everything you thought you knew about work in the United States. For most of human history, work wasn't based on hours. It was based on survival. People farmed until the sun went down, crafted goods until orders were filled, and labored based on seasons, not schedules. But everything changed with the Industrial Revolution. Suddenly, millions of Americans were pulled into factories where time itself became a tool of control. In the late 1800s, it wasn't uncommon for employees, including children, to work 12, 14, even 16-hour shifts. Companies justified this by claiming it was necessary for productivity, but the reality was simple. The more hours you worked, the more profit they made. It was during this era of exhaustion that the fight for a shorter workday began. One of the earliest pushes came from labor unions like the Knights of Labor, who demanded an 8-hour day as early as the 1860s. Their argument wasn't just about rest, it was about dignity. They believed workers deserved 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, and 8 hours for what we will. This slogan became the rallying cry for a movement that would shake the foundation of American industry. But it wasn't easy. Companies fought back ruthlessly. Workers who spoke up were often fired, blacklisted, or worse. One of the most infamous clashes happened in 1886, the Haymarket Affair in Chicago, where a peaceful rally for the 8-hour day turned violent after a bomb exploded. The fallout led to national panic and a fierce crackdown on unions, setting the movement back years. Still, the idea of shorter workdays refused to die. Interestingly, one of the biggest breakthroughs didn't come from a union, but from a corporation. In 1914, Henry Ford shocked the world by introducing a 40-hour workweek and doubling worker pay. People praised him as a hero, but Ford had a different motive. He realized that exhausted workers were sloppy workers. Productivity increased when employees were well rested. Not only that, but Ford also wanted his workers to have enough time and money to buy the cars they were building. A well-paid, well-rested workforce wasn't just good ethics, it was good business. Ford's move put pressure on other companies to follow. Workers saw what was possible and demanded the same treatment. But it would take a national crisis to make the 40-hour week the law of the land. The Great Depression, when unemployment skyrocketed and millions were desperate for work, labor groups argued that shorter work weeks could spread jobs to more people. President Franklin D. Roosevelt agreed. In 1938, the Fair Labor Standards Act officially established the 40-hour week, requiring overtime pay beyond that point. This landmark law reshaped American life. For the first time, free time became part of the national identity. Weekends weren't just dreams, they were guaranteed. The 8-hour workday became the new baseline, and for decades it seemed like things were moving in a positive direction. Productivity increased while hours stayed stable. Many experts believed the work week would continue shrinking. Some predicted a 30-hour week by the year 2000. But something unexpected happened. Instead of shrinking, the 40-hour work week became frozen in place. As the economy expanded after World War II, businesses embraced the system that kept workers consistently productive. But behind the scenes, a new push was working against shorter hours. Corporations realized that more work meant more profit, and the rise of salaried positions, jobs with no overtime, became a convenient way to squeeze more time out of workers without paying extra. By the 1980s and 1990s, a cultural shift occurred. Working long hours became a badge of honor. Americans started to associate long days with dedication, ambition, and identity. Companies rewarded hustle, and the 40-hour standard became not a maximum, but a minimum. Today, many Americans work well beyond 40 hours, even though research shows productivity drops sharply after that point. What makes this history so fascinating is how deeply embedded the 40-hour week has become. So embedded that we rarely question it. It shapes school schedules, business hours, commutes, and even family routines. Yet it wasn't created based on science, or health, or even fairness. It was created through struggle, strategy, and politics. And here's the twist. The debate is rising again. With the rise of remote work, automation, and burnout, many companies are experimenting with 32-hour work weeks without cutting pay. So far, studies show higher productivity, better mental health, and lower turnover. If history repeats itself, we could be on the edge of another major shift. Just like the Industrial Revolution forced Americans to fight for shorter hours, the digital age might push us to rethink work all over again. The story of the 40-hour work week isn't just history, it's a reminder. Every part of American culture, even the parts we take for granted, has a hidden origin, and sometimes those origins reveal just how much power everyday people have to reshape society. If you found this deep dive interesting and want more hidden history and unexplored truths behind everyday American life, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and share it with someone who's working that 40-hour grind right now. Your support helps us uncover more stories that deserve to be told. Stay curious and stay tuned for the next episode.